as scared of HIV as I was, because HIV now, because I guess of the drugs, isn't as scary.
I mean, I think any disease is scary. I mean, I don't think anybody wants to get sick of anything.
Oh, I'm sure people don't want to get sick, right? It's like the relative risk. Like if I'm doing porn, it seems like if testing is every 2 weeks,
and the window is every 2 weeks.
The window is
every
10 days. That there's like it seems very unlikely that I can catch HIV in porn. Mm-hmm. Would you say that's like a lower risk than in my private life, or a higher risk than my private life?
I would say that if I were to shoot off the cuff, we are a safer population than the average Joe because of the frequency that has been established in the industry.
So porn would actually be safer than sleeping with a person from a bar, because that person, at least on a porn set, is tested every 2 weeks. Yeah. If you're shooting commercial porn.
Yeah, I think that's like the thing that people don't realize, that
because of the frequency of testing, it actually makes it safer than, say, Tindering, right?
Yeah. Tindering is good.
I'm just saying. I'm just speaking to the world, because if I'm doing a girl off Tinder from a bar, she hasn't tested with every 2 weeks. So I know personally, though, I get it tested every 2 weeks because, I have to for work, right? It's not fun, but and it's also my responsibility because I'm exposing people. But if I wasn't shooting and I wasn't exposing people, well, then why would I if I wasn't? But the reason I have so many partners is because I'm filming actively.
Yeah, this is really interesting. Would you say it's kind of frowned upon to be slutty out of work?
I can speak for firsthand stuff. Yeah, a lot of people, like the girls, like last week's girls talking about being an escort and get looked down upon. A lot of the girls and guys look down on people who sleep with people outside of the industry for escorting or other things, especially because a lot of it's done without condoms. And it's done, they think the perception is it's done without testing. Now, again, I know firsthand that a lot of the escorting in America that's done without condoms is done with testing. And that's why you see the guys, again, we're talking about the male clients paying the porn star experience or PSE rate is because they're paying for that experience where they're sleeping with the girl without a condom. And the girl, but the guy is tested. And the guy is basically, it's just to me at least, it's just as safe as doing porn, because the guy is tested normally right the day before. That's what the girls will require, because I know most U.S. girls that do bareback escorting, and almost all of them do.
I've definitely known some girls and guys say that like they only have sex with people in the industry, and I kind of like the human heart being what it is. I kind of don't believe it.
Well, that's and again, there are people that say it. I could say that too, and I'd be lying.
It seems like,
but the reality is, of course, people sleep with people outside the industry. Come on, it's not an island that we all live on, this magic island, and Magic Island, no one can come on the island.
The bubble.
It's not a bubble, right? So of course, there's going to be people sleep outside the industry. So obviously, when you're sleeping with porn outside the industry, and they're not tested, obviously it's not as safe as sleeping with people. The reality
is that
But if you're sleeping with porn from inside,
our belief is that the industry is not is not unsafe. Mm-hmm. What is unsafe is what brings chlamydias or gonorrhea is outside actors. Let's call it, well, not actors. Let's go outside personnel that are outside the industry and they're not getting tested, and then they bring it into the industry.
So I guess like basically that would mean just logically that doing porn is as safe as sex in your private life, just because you've always had those outsiders coming in.
Correct.
To me, if you only slept with people in porn,
it'd be
in an ideal situation. Porn people, if you're a porn performer and you only sleep with porn people,
what I'm thinking.
You're top of the food chain.
What I'm thinking. Like they have a Fight Island.
Yeah.
They should have Porn Island.
Porn Island.
Let's do it.
But then no one would have STIs on island, because only those could come on the island who had a good test. Mm-hmm. So if there was Porn Island, Porn Island, it'd be STI free, because only people could come on the island.
There'd be no testing.
Tommy, you've got to figure out. No, but that's good. You're reinforcing what my personal belief is, that having sex, and I know this before we started, my personal belief that having sex in the porn industry is very safe.
Yes.
And you're reinforcing that. Ask the owner of the lab. For people who are not part of the industry like myself, who are not active performers like myself, if you're coming into the industry and you're having sex with people in porn,
only in porn,
chances are that sex is going to be safer than a random from Tinder who's not tested.
Correct.